Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am really excited to be coming to you today with a really simple strategy that I use to 6-star my monsters pretty darn fast. Now, I use this strategy when I'm really trying to kind of get in the groove and kind of get about 1 to 2 6-star monster a week. It kind of depends on what else is happening, the events that they're running, the Trial of Ascension, if I've got rainbow mons from there. But I want to walk you through this really simple strategy, and you can see I've got a pretty healthy amount of 6-star monsters and some nat 5s in here, and I want to show you kind of how I make this happen. Now, there's a couple of prerequisites here, and the first one is that you're going to need about 4 days to make this happen. Now, in order to make this happen, you're going to be collecting dimensional crystals every single day for 4 days. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to give you 12 dimensional crystals that you can work with. I recommend waiting until like the 5th day to start using them, because as you can see, if we go into the dimensional rift, I've got 12 dimensional crystals, and then I've got another 3 that I can collect for the day. So I can make 15 runs in the dimensional rift today, which is actually a pretty healthy amount if we're trying to get a 5-star monster. Now, the second thing that you're going to need is you're going to need either a 12-hour experience booster or a 3-day experience booster. If you're looking to get a couple of 6 stars, you may want to go with the 3-day. I personally always have a 12-hour, either from an event or from a previous 6-star, because when you 6-star a monster, you get one. But I'm just going to walk you through the strategy that I use. Now, I will say this is more for mid-game players who have pretty strong monsters to work with, but you can use this strategy even if you're not a mid-game player. It just may take a little bit longer. So with those kind of prerequisites, just to kind of recap, you need 12 dimensional crystals plus 3 pending to collect as your daily reward. You need a 12-hour experience. And then the other thing you need is a few 3-star monsters. I recommend that you have about 30 to 50 3-star monsters. Now, that might sound like a lot, but you get mystical scrolls from kind of farming giants or from premium packs. I'm not going to talk about premium packs as much today because they are expensive. They're not as easy to acquire. But if you spend about 3 to 4 days just farming the giants, or farming dragons, or farming NB10, wherever you're farming, you should start to pick up some mystical scrolls and 3-star monsters and rainbow mons, which can all be used. But I recommend about 30 to 50 3-star monsters. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk you through how the strategy works at a basic level. So the first thing we do is we activate our experience booster. We head over, and then we check out the elemental of whatever dimensional rift is open. So in this case, we have water and we have wind elements. And so whenever I have 2 elements that I'm working against, even though it's kind of a disadvantage, I like to have 1 elemental advantage for each. And then I'm going to be leveling up 3-star monsters that I'm willing to use as food. Now, what's really nice about this is that the dimensional rift isn't necessarily the cheapest or the cheapest way to go about getting 6-star monsters in terms of energy cost, but it is the fastest. Okay, so if you're okay with spending a decent amount of energy and some crystals on the energy refresh, then you're going to do really, really well to use this strategy. So what you can kind of see we're doing here, just to kind of put rubber to the road, is I'm basically just using this as a way to get massive experience really, really fast. And not just massive experience, but I'm also using it to get a lot of mana, and sometimes you get crystals, but mostly mana, which I'm going to need when I start going into creating the 6-star monster. So I just want to show you that the first step is to essentially run through this 3 times. Now, if you have a monster that can lead the team and clear the dimensional rift without a secondary monster, that's even better. But just to give you a frame of reference, I find that it takes about, well, not I find, it does take 3 runs through the Dimensional Rift to take 3-star monsters all the way to level 25 or 3-star max. So we're just going to do that one more time. And basically what I've done is I've created, from, just to lay the foundation here, from farming giants or dragons, you're going to have some 3-star rainbow mons. And your goal is to get 5 3-star rainbow mons that you can use in addition to this strategy. Why do I recommend 5? Well, the reason that I recommend you have 5 is because if you run this 5 times, which would be 15 dimensional energy, with 3-star monsters that you take to max level, what you're going to end up with is, just pull up the monsters here, you're going to end up with 15 3-star monsters and 5 rainbow mons that are 3-star max. And so when you have that, you essentially have enough 3-star max to create your 5-star monsters that you can use to create your next 6-star. So what I'm going to do for a second is I'm going to pause this recording. I'm going to use up all my dimensional energy, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like in terms of execution. Okay, so I paused the video, I came back, and now I have everything that we talked about. So as of right now, I should have 15 3-star max monsters, and then I have 5 3-star rainbow mons that I've collected from just from grinding the giants, which I'll kind of recap at the end how I make that happen. So the other part of this strategy is that every week you do need to go into your guild shop and you do need to grab your 4-star rainbow mon. Now, I already grabbed mine, and the reason is if you kind of do the math here real quick on the monsters that we have, you'll notice that once we level up all of these 3-star max right here, we're going to have enough 4 stars to make our 5-star monster, or excuse me, to make our 6-star, but we won't have the 4-star max. So the next step that I recommend, I kind of talked about this briefly earlier, but the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take 3 of these monsters, not the rainbow mons, but the monsters, and you're going to want to use 3-star monsters to bring them to level 4. Now, I know that there's more efficient ways in terms of use of 3-star monsters to create a 6-star, but for the sake of this guide, I am purely talking speed. So I'm creating 4 4-star monsters. And now what I've got is 4 4-star monsters, and I'm just going to go into my storage and grab that 5th one. And what I've got now is, I know that this is already 5-star because I forgot that I was going to record this video and I evolved him. But, you got your 4-star max, and then you got 1, 2, 3. Oops, let's make one more monster here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've checked off here on the right that are going to become our 5-star fodder for the 6-star monster. So I'm just really quickly going to throw a couple of these things into storage here just so that you don't see the ones that we're not working with. Okay. And so my next step, because I'm still on that 12-hour XP boost, is now to go into the Faimon volcano, hell, level 1 and take those 4 stars that I just created and bring them to maximum level. So again, what I'm basically doing at this point is I'm taking all of the monsters that I just brought to level 4 and I'm turning them into 4-star max so that I've got everything that I need to work with. So I'm going to take these guys to 4-star max mons inside of the Faimon Hell level 1. And does this take a little bit of time? Yeah, but the reality is with a nice farmer, I use Beth, sometimes I use Lappies. I just already had Beth in there, so I left her. My Beth isn't the greatest or the fastest, I won't lie to you, but I will link you to a video in the description where I talk about how to get really fast farm times with either Beth or a Lappies, and you can see the runes that I have on my Beth. But basically, I'm just going to take all of those monsters that I had at that point and bring them up to 4-star max. Now, one other thing that I do want to bring to your attention is as you're kind of doing this, you're probably realizing something, which is one, you need energy. So you are going to need crystals to make this work. And two, you are going to end up with a bunch of 4-star max and 3-star max, but how do you actually create the food? So what I'm going to do is talk about that real quick, and then I'll come back to the video and walk you through how I kind of bring everything to completion, get my 6-star monster, and what my next steps are to set myself up for a future 6-star monster. So from farming the dungeons, remember the premise of this is that you've essentially spent 4 to 5 days accumulating these dimensional crystals, and every single one of those days you need to be farming the dungeon. So you're going to have built up unknown scrolls. So once you have your 3-star monsters, your 4-star monsters max, and your 4-star Rainbow Mon from the guild shop, you're then going to summon a bunch of 2-star monsters and repeat this same process inside Faimon Volcano, bringing 2-star monsters up to level 3 so that you have the fodder for these 3-star monsters. Now, if you remember earlier, I talked about how you kind of want like 30 to 50 mystical scrolls or 3-star monsters to work with. And the reason is, number one, it does allow you to create these 4-star monsters without having to do a bunch of fodder work. But additionally, if you have a ton of 3-stars and you are purely going for, I want to get a 6-star as fast as possible, then you could also take some of your 3-star monsters and feed them other 3-star monsters to get them to 4 to get your fodder, right? So I hope that makes sense. What I'm going to do real quick is just kind of pause this. I'm going to take these 4 monsters right here up to level 30 max. I'll come back. I'll walk you through my process of actually creating the 6-star monsters, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this section will be really quick, but I just wanted to kind of check in as I'm doing this process and show you. We've got our Rainbow Mon from the guild shop. We've got 4 max 4-stars, and that's going to be enough to create our 5 stars so that we can create our 6-star. So I know that's a little wordy, but basically the only other thing I wanted to pop in and show you is that as you do your farming in Faimon, you're going to get these 2-star Rainbow Mons, and you're also going to get 2-star fodder from there. You're going to get the Hellhounds, and you're also going to have 2-star from your unknown summons, your unknown scroll summons. And so what you're going to do at this point is you're just going to evolve any of the 2-star fodder that you got, and that's going to give you 3-star Rainbow Mons that you're going to use to level up all the stuff that you have above. And then the last part of this step is I have a bunch of 2-stars in storage because sometimes I use 3-stars just to level up. But I have a bunch of 2-stars in storage. So your last step here, is going to be to go through Faimon Hell and bring in these 2-star monsters that you're going to bring to max level 2, and then create enough 3-star fodder to level up all your 3-star to 4, feed your 4 to the 4-star, and your 4 stars to create your 5 stars. So what I'm going to do is pause this video one more time. When we come back, I'm going to have all these monsters at level 4, all of these max level 25. I'm just going to level up my 2 stars to get up to 3, feed those to my max 3 stars that already exist, and then we'll do the rest live on video. Okay, so what I just did is I took all of my I went through Faimon, got a bunch of max 2 stars, foddered them up to 3, fed those to my max 3 stars, and now all of my max 3 stars are 4 stars. So at this point, I just feed my 4 stars to my 4-star monsters, or feed my non-max 4-star to my max 4-star monsters, I should say. I also have these rainbow mons that I'm going to use. And then I've got 4 left, or I would have 4 left just to show you. You would feed those into the 5-star rainbow mon that I already had. So we don't have to worry about that. That one will happen organically from what we've done. So at this point, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5-star monsters. I've got a max 5-star waiting for it. A Nat 5 Amelia. We're going to evolve her. And just like that, we've got our next 12-hour XP booster that we can use when we want to create our next 5-star, 6-star, Nat 5 to 6-star, I should say. So, you know, really powerful strategy. Is it the most efficient? No. Does it cost a lot of 3-star monsters that you normally wouldn't want to use for this if you're trying to be more efficient? Yes, it does. But, you know, the promise of this video is that we're going to get you there as fast as possible, not that we're going to get you there in the lowest cost as possible. So there are faster ways to do it. You can rely more on 2 stars. You could level up that 2-star fodder up to 3-star to 4-star and then max them out at 5. You can get, you know, there are other ways to get Rainbow Mon, including TOA, events, things like that. But just to kind of recap everything that we covered so that you've got a good sense, the first thing you do is you wait till you've got 5 days of dimensional crystals built up. You use those to max out 3-star monsters that you can take to 4-star. You bring those 4-star monsters, 4 of them, through the Faimon volcano and level them up so that you've got max 4-star. You then come into your guild on a weekly basis. You grab your 4-star Rainbow Mon. From that you then you have max 3 stars. You got your 4 stars. Then all you do is, from farming the previous week, you use your unknown scrolls to get 2-star monsters. You max out those 2-star monsters inside of the Faimon volcano. You level them up to be food. You create all of your 4-star monsters. Or excuse me, you create all your 3 stars to 4 stars by eating all that food and fodder up. And then you have everything you need to create your 6-star monster. So just like that, I decided to use this on Amelia. So you can see here, I now have Amelia, the 6-star unicorn. So pretty powerful stuff. Works really effectively. If you got lots of value, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. It does help our channel grow, and we always appreciate that. So yeah, that is my strategy for getting a 6-star. With this strategy, you can basically get a 6-star every 5 to 6 days. It just kind of depends where you land in terms of TOA and other events that are happening to get that 5th 5-star, which would be a Rainbow Mon. You don't have to do that. You could create 5 4-star monsters. You would just need more 3-star fodder based on this strategy. But I hope you got lots of value. Again, let me know in the comments if you got any questions. I will be sure to answer. Like, subscribe, drop all that goodness, and we will catch you on the next video.